I'm Dylan Goller, and this is the Dylan Goller Show. When you think of Stranger Things 1 and 2, what do you think of? Maybe you think of cool character development. Maybe you think of interesting science fiction horror concepts. Or maybe you think of cleverly placed 80s homages. Time to throw all that out the window, guys. This is Stranger Things 3. Stranger Things 3 is the follow-up to the previous seasons of the show. It had the same cast and crew as the first seasons, and follows along a similar story. It had some new additions to the cast, but none really worth talking about. With the gate to the Upside Down closed, the Mind Flayer begins to look for people that it can control to open back up the gate. I do owe you guys an apology. As a professional courtesy to the filmmakers involved in a topic I might be discussing, to the audience who wants to listen to my opinion, who I believe deserves the best from me, I always try and wear a suit. However, this was kind of filmed in a time constraint because I was busy before the events of shooting this video. I'm going to be quite busy after. I didn't have time to get in the suit. So, yeah, this is basically just what I wear in the everyday world. I do owe you guys an apology. I do my best to try and dress as nicely as possible to fix my hair up. But given the situation with today, kind of a little busy, I apologize for that. This season, in my opinion, is the worst of the series. However, that doesn't mean it's entirely bad. They took a bunch of creative risks, and I don't feel it paid off at all. The negative outweighs the positive in this season. They changed the look of the show a lot. They used a lot more color and bright lights, and it didn't work. It made the season feel a lot more cartoony, and not in a good way, in a cheap way. Another thing is that the subplots involving the Russians embarrassed the season. Another thing is that they took another creative risk and had a heavy homage, making one of the antagonists of the show pretty much just a Russian Terminator, and that is... It's honestly kind of cringy in some ways. One of the season's biggest strengths is also one of its biggest weaknesses, the characters. As the show becomes more populated, the writers kind of write themselves into a corner and they don't really know what to do with the characters. A good example of this is Will Byers. Will Byers in this season, all of his friends have girlfriends, and all he does is sit around and complain that he himself doesn't have a girlfriend. And it's lame. Like, literally, I don't even remember anything that interesting that happened with Will. Billy, Max's stepbrother, who is played by Darce Montgomery, who was also in season 2 but had a minimal role, so I didn't really talk about him, is another good example of this. I'll be honest with you, he's one of the worst characters in the show. He makes my shortlist for worst characters. He's someone who's controlled by the Mind Flayer and who apparently gets a creative arc at the end of it, which is really just nothing. Billy dies pretty much the useless character he came into the series as. Billy is flat and boring, and the writers have absolutely nothing to do with him other than him being a plot device, honestly. There's also a brief but uncomfortable subplot of Karen Wheeler, who's the mother of Nancy and Mike, going and cheating on her husband, wanting to cheat on her husband with Billy, who's like 17. And it's honestly one of the most uncomfortable subplots I've ever sat through. Honestly, I can't fathom who thought that it was a good idea. With that being said, our two new characters are probably one of the brightest spots of the show, Robin and Erica. Robin is a character who's layered, and she's intelligent and fun and funny, and you like her and you want to see more of her. Erica, who's the little sister of Lucas, is a smart aleck know-it-all, and she's given the funniest lines in the season, and the young actress really delivers on it. I do want to touch on this quickly, kind of to preface my Stranger Things 4 video, is that the way the season ends with the characters and the different directions they go on, they seem passable, but when it comes to Stranger Things Season 4, you're going to see how stupid these ideas actually were. There's a lot of really dumb ideas they choose to take the characters with in the finale. And when you watch the season, you'll be like, that's fine. Come Stranger Things 4, Stranger Things 4 is really going to suffer for it. And I'm going to talk about that season next in my next video. But I just want to kind of preface that. Do you like this channel? Well, if you do, like this video and comment down below. And if you wouldn't mind, subscribe and text this video to one of your friends. It could be anyone. Thank you in advance. Let's get back to the review. The season is entertaining nonetheless. I did enjoy watching it. It's just the creative risks that the Duffer brothers chose to take, both in the directorial style, the cinematography, and the writing, they all come back and shoot them in the foot. And it's rather unfortunate. So that's me saying Stranger Things 4 is pretty much ruined at this point. I'm Dylan Goller. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Keep on geeking on.